No Caitlin Clark, no problem. No Sophie Cunningham, no problem. No head coach Stephanie White, have no fear. The final boss, Austin Kelly, is here. The Chicago Sky, we came into your building and we just, from pillar to post, smacked you guys around.
What happens when you strip a team of its superstar, its fiery sixth woman, and its head coach all at once? The conventional answer is disaster. You get a team without a leader, without a spark, and without a game plan. You get an easy win for the opponent. That was the script everyone expected to read when the Indiana Fever, decimated by absences, walked into the United Center to face a hungry Chicago Sky team desperate for revenge. But on that night, the Fever didn't just tear up the script, they set it on fire, leaving everyone in the basketball world stunned by what they had just witnessed.
For AK, for Steph.
Another one.
No. Yes, sir.
Great job. All right, great job.
Thanks, Daddy.
It started for us on the defensive end. We set the tone from the jump and never looked back. All right. Their starters, 8 for 29 from the field.
Hell yeah.
Hell of a job. Great attention to detail. That's less than 30%. We held them 32% for the game.
A perfect storm of misfortune had descended upon the Indiana Fever. The crisis began with their generational talent, Caitlin Clark, who was sidelined with a quad injury. Her 19 points and 10 assists per game, the engine of their offense, had vanished. Then came another crippling blow. Their tough-as-nails sixth woman, Sophie Cunningham, was also out. As if the situation wasn't dire enough, the final piece of their leadership structure crumbled just before the game. Head coach Stephanie White would not be with the team, absent for personal reasons. The Fever were walking into hostile territory without their primary scorer, their key reserve, and their strategic leader, heading into one of the most iconic and intimidating arenas in all of sports.
Well, Fever versus Sky isn't much of a rivalry, at least if you go by the results, because the Fever have dominated the Sky, and I guess you could say the Sky is falling, at least in the standings and around Chicago, considering the situation with the team.
Austin Kelly filling in for Stephanie White. I got a feeling. Austin Kelly looks like a head coach on the side. Folks, there was none of this. Austin Kelly looked like the final boss on the sideline watching over the Indiana Fever team. His posture, his presence, yeah, head coach type stuff, you know what it is. The assistants standing up, giving me some energy, giving me some, Yep, I liked what I saw tonight, folks.
This wasn't just any game. It was a rivalry forged in recent humiliation. Just weeks earlier, the Fever had absolutely dismantled the Chicago Sky in a brutal 35-point blowout. Angel Reese and her teammates hadn't forgotten the sting of that defeat. They had circled this date on their calendar, seeing it as their golden opportunity for payback. With Clark out of the picture and the Fever looking vulnerable, the Sky and their sold-out home crowd could practically taste the victory. It was their chance to prove the first game was a fluke and assert their dominance on a primetime national stage. The basketball world was watching, ready to confirm what critics had been saying all along, that the Indiana Fever were nothing without Caitlin Clark.
There she is right there signing autographs in the visiting arenas building. Look at all the Fever fans there. I mean, seriously. So, Caitlin Clark, same thing, taking pictures, signing autographs. In case you're wondering, it was sold out.
Big game, obviously you're stepping in for Steph, but what are the feelings coaching a game in this arena?
Oh, it's you grow up watching the Bulls and you see Michael Jordan's, jersey and Scotty's jersey sitting up there. It's a surreal moment. But, I think the message for us is the same. We want to continue to build that consistency on both ends of the floor. And it's another opportunity for us to do that here.
Thrust into this chaotic vortex was acting head coach Austin Kelly. An assistant since 2012, Kelly knew the system inside and out, but he had never been the one in the hot seat, making every final call. His first ever game as an acting head coach was taking place in the 21,000-seat United Center, a venue where legends were made. The pressure was immense, the stakes were sky high, and the deck was stacked against him. But as the cameras panned to the sideline, they didn't capture a man overwhelmed by the moment. Instead, Kelly was a picture of unshakable calm, a quiet general overseeing his troops. His posture was confident, his presence was commanding, and he looked less like a substitute and more like the final boss ready for battle.
This time steps right through the heart of the defense and blows by Chicago. The winds off of Lake Michigan. Loses Atkins, step back mini, knocks it down. Oh, the connection to Howard. How about the finish from Mitchell?
And she may be the quickest guard in the league with the ball in her hands.
Here's Mitchell trying to attack Van Lith. Will slow it down a bit. This time steps right through the heart of the defense and blows by Chicago. The winds off of Lake Michigan. Timeout Sky as Indiana has built a 17-point advantage.
With the team's superstar watching from the bench, the question on everyone's mind was simple. Who would answer the call? That question was answered almost immediately. Kelsey Mitchell, a veteran guard who had faced criticism for inconsistency, walked onto that court and played with a burning sense of purpose. She wasn't trying to be Caitlin Clark. She was being the best, most aggressive version of Kelsey Mitchell. She attacked the basket relentlessly, hit timely shots when the defense gave her an inch of space, and moved without the ball with lethal precision. Mitchell dropped a team-high 17 points, but her impact went far beyond the box score. She was the steady hand that guided the team through the initial storm, proving that the Fever's heart still beat strong. But she wasn't fighting alone. Lexie Hull, continuing her breakout season, was perfect from three-point range, hitting clutch shots that kept the momentum firmly in Indiana's favor. The veterans were sending a clear message: we will not fold.
In the 3-game absence for Caitlin Clark, leads the league in field goal percentage and shows you right there.
The intentionality to get Aaliyah Boston the basketball.
We won the boards, all right, and they're a second chance points team, all right, and we won that area as well. Taking away their strengths was something that we did a great job of, all right?
Just extremely proud of y'all. We stayed locked in, we stayed together, we executed the scout at a very high level. Just multiple levels of effort. It's everything that we've asked of you today, we put it in there, and from now, again, stacking days, building on those moments where we're stringing those possessions together, right? Building on those great possessions on defense and on offense. Great, hell of a job, y'all. High level. Good job, y'all.
While the veterans held the line, a secret weapon was being unleashed, one that Chicago had no way to prepare for. Ari McDonald had been signed to a hardship contract less than a week prior. She was supposed to be a footnote, a temporary piece to fill out the roster. Instead, she became the headline. Stepping into the point guard role, McDonald ran the offense as if she'd been doing it for years. Her decision-making was instant and flawless. She finished with 12 points, 3 steals, and hit crucial three-pointers that broke the spirit of Chicago's defense. Her basketball IQ was so high that she completely rewired the Fever's offensive DNA on the fly. She created space for Mitchell, found Hull for open looks, and allowed the entire offense to flow with a rhythm and confidence that left the Sky scrambling. The newest player on the roster had become the catalyst for their most dominant performance of the season.
Ari McDonald for three. Old McDonald had a. Ari McDonald with a steal. Old McDonald had a. Ari McDonald drawing offensive fouls. Old McDonald had a. Folks, what a glorious game. What a glorious game.
But both teams facing a little bit of adversity, having certain players out or not at full capacity.
McDonald, a huge triple in the corner. Mitchell, patient in the corner, flips it up top. Boston, other side. McDonald, another three. I'm loving it. Of 5 meetings this season between the two teams. McDonald pokes it away, then tapped up down the floor, and McDonald will slow things down. McDonald for three, cashes in.
Survival mode.
And while McDonald was orchestrating the offense, another force was awakening in the paint. This was the game where Aaliyah Boston reminded everyone of the two-way monster she can be. She was a defensive fortress. Boston finished the game with a career-high 5 blocks, swatting away shots and altering countless others. She didn't just play defense, she owned the paint, making every Chicago drive a risky gamble. On the other end, she was a model of efficiency, contributing 11 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists. She controlled the interior on both ends of the floor, providing the anchor that allowed the rest of the team to play with aggressive, free-flowing confidence. Chicago had come in expecting to dominate a weakened team, but they found themselves walled off by Boston's sheer will.
Lex, 500 points today. 750 rebounds. And just a hell of the effort, y'all. I said I wanted y'all to make them feel us. They felt us. Yeah, nobody in there on their team had double-digit scores.
Oh yeah.
That's the toughness piece.
The Dallas Wings must really, really stink, because those are the 2 wins that the Chicago Sky have this year, and the Fever have absolutely blown the doors off of them in their matchups this season, including this time around without Caitlin Clark. Angel Reese just 2 of 7 from the floor, only 4 points. She's shooting like 31% from the floor on the year. The Minnesota Lynx own the Chicago Sky's draft pick. It is rough sledding for the Sky.
What happened to the Chicago Sky wasn't just a loss. It was a total system collapse, broadcast for the entire world to see. Their quest for revenge turned into a showcase of futility. The team's shooting was abysmal, a horrific 32% from the field, and an even worse 20% from three-point range. The box score told a brutal story. Not a single player on the Chicago Sky managed to score in double figures, not one. Angel Reese, the fiery leader who was supposed to dominate this game, was rendered a complete non-factor. She finished with just 4 points on 2 for 7 shooting, while the Fever moved the ball with crisp, unselfish chemistry, racking up 20 assists. The Sky looked lost and outclassed, committing 19 turnovers that the Fever turned into easy points. The beatdown was so thorough, so complete, that it left no doubt which team had superior talent, coaching, and heart.
We got the lead and we just didn't look back. The Indiana Fever destroying the pathetic Chicago Sky, the sad Chicago Sky, the distraught Chicago Sky, the mess of a franchise known as the Chicago Sky. Tyler Marsh, salute. Tyler Marsh, you see what a real head coach looked like there, Tyler Marsh? You see, folks, Austin Kelly didn't even call a timeout. She said, ladies, play.
Bring it out.
Yeah! Big time! That's big time!
That's all you guys. That's all you guys. Great job. Hell of a job.
Here we go! Let's get on 3, 1, 2, 3!
In the end, This victory was more than just 2 points in the standings. It was a statement that will echo throughout the league. The Indiana Fever proved they are not defined by one player. They are a deep, resilient, and connected unit with the heart of a champion. Kelsey Mitchell showed she can lead. Lexie Hull showed she's a reliable weapon. Ari McDonald emerged as a game-changing discovery, and Aaliyah Boston asserted her dominance. The post-game celebration, with players drenching a triumphant Austin Kelly in water, was a scene of pure joy and validation. If this is what the Indiana Fever are capable of when they are broken and backed into a corner, the rest of the WNBA has been put on notice. The question is no longer if this team is for real. The only question left to ask is, just how far can they go when they are finally whole?